Okay, boys, are you ready for the final video? Okay, the final video, which is also the most troublesome in examination, would be about the sharing of the benefit. Okay, in fact, you see I've written down in here, it is exactly the same as tax incidence. The motto is still whoever more elastic would eat less of the benefits， 仍然都係一樣嘅啫，好嘛？同上次係一模一樣嘅。Therefore, if now I know consumer subsidy benefit is larger than producer subsidy benefit, what does that mean? It means that elasticity of demand is less than the elasticity of supply, is less elastic. Demand is less elastic than supply. Okay, 好唔好啊? Now I suggest you can pause the video and try to draw these two graphs first before you move on. Okay, now I'm assuming you have done so. OK， 嗱，今次咧有啲難畫㗎，你小心啲嚇，好嘛？有啲難畫㗎。OK， 好嘛？ Now for this case, we need ES to be larger than ED. While I keep reminding you, do not do anything funny with ED， 係咪？我成日都話啦 ，demand 係咁嘅 slope 就咁嘅 slope， 唔好懶醒，橫啲直啲，係咪啊 ？Told you not to do horizontal, vertical, etc. Right? Therefore, normal one. Now here， 喂，你而家想 ES 大過 ED 啊嘛 ？All you need to do is to make supply as elastic as possible. Okay, so here we go. Let's draw a very horizontal S1, and then let's draw another very horizontal S2. Okay, and this will be our subsidy. 好啦，記住唔好 mark 錯。This will be our Q2, which will be the most important. 記住啊，畫錯幫你唔到啊。Okay, so this will be our P1. This will be our P2. You see the price has dropped a lot. 記住啦 when the price drop, the one to benefit would be the consumer. Okay, so this green box would be the consumer subsidy benefit. While the rest of the subsidy, you will see here the red box. The rest of the subsidy will be the producer subsidy benefits. Let's call it P3. OK， 得唔得？我哋睇下先。CSB larger than PSB. Yes, we are correct. OK， 好，咁啊下一個啦喎，繼續嚟。咁即係同樣道理啦。This one, ED needs to be larger than ES. OK， 記住啦 ，no funny business with demand curve. So here, demand. Now, let's make supply as inelastic as possible, which should look something like this. Okay? Here, we have our S1. Then, we drop to S2. Now, Sir, they drop 咁少嘅? No. It's actually a very big drop. Remember, this is a downward shift. OK， 好嘛？好，咁啊，記住啦。sorry， 之前 mark 漏咗 Q1。Let's mark Q2. Very important. Remind yourself, we are going into Q2, not Q1. OK， 好啦，跟住呢個啦。This is Q1. We know that 呢度倒轉咗。OK， 好嘛？嗱 ，P1 right here. Drop to P2. You will see a drop in price. Who would benefit? Obviously, consumer would benefit. The rest of this subsidy, okay? 你見到啦 the rest of this red part, P3 right here, this would be producer subsidy benefit. OK， 我哋 check 下先。CSB 細過 PSB。Yes, it is the correct answer that we want. OK， 好嘛？嗱 ，as usual, if you have difficulty in drawing this, OK, my advice is pause the video, try to draw it again until you are sure how to do it. OK. Now let us skip ahead a little bit. Before we look at the extreme cases, let's look at two more past papers. Okay, two more past papers. Okay, now here, 1999. Okay, I think I've modeled this question. 我應該咧係有做啲手腳嘅，我唔記得做過啲咩手腳啦。Okay, it is known, known that the market price decreases by $4 per unit after provision of 10 unit. 好啦，我哋望一望啦。Again, the subsidy is 10, while there is only a $4 drop in price. This part will be the consumer subsidy benefit. So the remaining $6, this would be the producer subsidy benefit. 好啦，而家邊度食多啲啊？ You will see that actually consumer enjoy less. With that, we can conclude 邊個會食少啲啊 ？Elastic 啲嗰個咯 ，ED greater than ES. OK， 好嘛 ？So we can conclude that it has a more elastic, okay, more elastic supply or less elastic, more elastic demand or less elastic supply. Okay, D will be the answer. Okay, 我唔記得咗改過啲咩啦。Okay, but I think originally it has some problem. That's why I changed it. Okay, 好嘛？嗱 one more question, and then we look at the extreme cases. Now the government of country X introduced a per unit subsidy to the education system of private university. OK， 私立大學啦，佢哋都俾啲 subsidy 啦。好啦，佢問啦 ，Under what condition would student enjoy larger share than the private university? Now you need to remember, student would be the consumers in our case, while the university would be the producers in our case. 佢話啦，而家啦 student larger, which means we need CSB to be greater than PSB. 好啦，咩情況啦 ？ED smaller than ES. Okay, when supply is more elastic. Okay, 好嘛 ？So how do we answer? 好啦，記住啦 ，step number one. Let's explain, right? With a subsidy, we know that the supply would increase, and then P decreases, Q increases. 呢啲手把眼見功夫啦，唔寫啦，好嘛？ Now the most important condition is that you need to write down clearly if the demand for university is less elastic, 唔係 inelastic 啊，係 less elastic than supply. Then the consumer subsidy benefit will be greater than the producer subsidy benefit. OK， 嗱我唔全寫，你自己寫啦，好嘛？ Now for the graph, it should look something like this. OK, we have P, we have Q, then again, not extreme case. No need to do anything funny with the demand curve. Normal demand. Now, we need demand to be less elastic, or we need supply to be more elastic. 好啦，咁啊，我哋整到 supply 又咁 elastic 得咁 elastic 咪得咯。Okay, so here we have our S1, we have our S2. This would be our subsidy. 好啦，記住啦，都係好重要啦。Q2 first， 嗱呢個係重要嗰個 highlight 佢撞上嚟。And this is Q1. We know it goes here. This would be P1. This would be P2. Now here you will see a drop in price. Who would benefit? Obviously, consumer would benefit。你話 Sir 仲有啲 subsidy 證喎 ，OK？ The rest of the subsidy this part, okay? Now let's call this P3, okay? The rest of the red part would be producer subsidy benefits, which in our case, you will see CSB greater than PSB. Exactly, students enjoy a larger share of the subsidy benefit. Okay, 得唔得？ So this is how you do it. You will see actually subsidy is very similar to that of tax. Only that Q2 最難係 Q2 啊 because it goes across the cross 係咪 Go beyond the cross 好核突嗰啲嘢係 but it is correct. Okay, 得唔得？ Now with that said, now let's go back one page, the last page. We need to deal with the extreme cases, okay? The very extreme cases. Now remember, whoever more elastic, eat less, okay? 好啦，而家 demand is totally inelastic, perfectly inelastic, right? So we know CB would take it all. 佢最慢啊嘛，佢咪食晒佢咯。Okay? Now graphically, it would be like this. 記住啦 perfectly inelastic demand. Now this time we need to do something funny with a demand curve. So this is D. Let's have S1, S2. 嗱，記住呢度留翻少少位喎 ，OK？ You need some buffer. Don't draw like this, OK？ 有時咧，你師兄啊亂畫啊 ，draw like this. No. This is no good. 係嘛 ？This is no good. This would create a non-perfect triangle. Or that is not a triangle at all. OK， 好嘛？所以我哋唔好咁畫，好嘛 ？Here, subsidy. Funny thing is, you will see price. What happens to the quantity? Actually, quantity remains unchanged. The only thing change will be the price, and the price drop in price will be exactly the same as that of the per unit subsidy, which means CSB will take off. Oh, sorry, CSB, 唔係 CB. Okay, CSB will take it off. Okay, now the funny thing is, you see, 你話阿 Sir 價跌咗佢咪蝕咯 ？No. They can also get back the subsidy. So in this case, actually, total revenue after subsidy, it remains unchanged. 冇嘢變過 Okay, this is the only case. Right, 得唔得？嗱 let's go to the next one. Perfectly inelastic supply. 好啦 supply 係咁即係點啊？唔好搞事咯噃 Inelastic supply. This one, perfectly inelastic, right? S1. Now a subsidy should create a downward shift, right? But a vertical, can it go down? No. Therefore, it actually would be the same as S2. 好啦，既然條 supply 冇變過，咁即係咩意思啊 ？P would remain unchanged, Q would also remain unchanged. 但係啦 subsidy would still be received. Okay? So, P1, Q1 is the consumer expenditure. 你會見到啦 Actually, here, this part would be the subsidy, right? You need to install something here. This red part would be the producer subsidy benefit. 收多咗錢啊 In fact, their total revenue would increase because nothing changes, but they still receive a subsidy. Nothing changes, receiving subsidy. Okay, 得唔得？ Now 2 more cases and we are officially done with this very long chapter. Okay, 好嘛？好啦 Now third one, perfectly elastic demand. 好啦 perfectly elastic demand, which means it should go like this. OK, 好啦，其他唔好理啦，都係 S1, S2, here, subsidy, you will see quantity increases to here. And remember, 都係Q2 唔係 Q1 while the price doesn't change. 好啦， if price doesn't change, what does that mean? It means that consumer cannot benefit. 但係啦， even if it cannot benefit, someone will benefit, and that someone is actually here. This whole thing. Who will benefit? 而家冇減個價喎，咁咪賺嘅，咪賺 producer 咯。OK， this red box will be producer subsidy benefit。OK， 嗱，但係你見所有嘢變晒㗎，係咪 ？Q 係會變㗎 ，although price doesn't change。OK， 好嘛 ？So this is the case. And finally, here, finally. Perfectly elastic supply. So let's try. 好啦 demand, no funny business, right? Perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly elastic supply. Subsidy, right? 記住啦，都係啦 Q2 mark Q2 first， 好重要啊呢個 Q2 first, then go straight up. Here, Q1, we know Q1 to Q2. This is P1, this is P2. You will see the drop in price is exactly the same as that of the subsidy, okay, per unit subsidy, which means this whole part would be benefit by the consumer subsidy benefit, okay? But at the same time, you will see that, right? Actually, total revenue from P1 Q1 to P1 consumer 食晒，佢仲係賺到㗎。They still earn something, okay? They still earn something, namely selling more. Okay, so remember, this is the only case when total revenue does not change. 記唔記得 I said 99% of the cases it's going to be unchanged, right? 係咪 This is the only one case that it does not change. Okay, now with all that said, we are officially done with chapter 11. 唔係到 12 so sorry, right? We are officially done with chapter 11. So boys, now also remember in Google Classroom, I've uploaded this summary notes, right? Now remember to bring this summary notes. We will deal with this when school resumes on the 1st of September. Okay, 好嘛? So boys, remember, work hard. I will see you on the 1st of September. Actually, I think 2nd of September. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.